Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to create this animating hamburger menu on the top right corner of this mobile view right here. So if you click on it, you can see this transition effect that just happens, and you can open up and close up the menus for the ones that have other sub menus under them. So this is basically what we'll be building. Please don't forget to like, turn on the notification bell and subscribe to get more videos like this. So I just created a new design file and I'm going to paste in the designs you're going to be using. We're basically going to be animating this hamburger menu up here, which is just basically 2 strokes. You can also create that. But I got these designs from the Figma design community. This here, you can also search for it and find it. Credit to whoever created these designs. So this is what we'll basically be using. I'm just going to copy this text, which is going to be the menu item text, and I'm going to just bring it into this our designs that I just created right here. So basically what we want to do is to have a different page that shows all of these submenu items, which would have normally been listed out if you're on a web view, but since this is a mobile view, we just want to hide all of this in a navigation bar. So I'm going to click on frame and create a new frame. I'm going to select all our navigations and I'm going to put it in these new frames because this is where we are going to be making the interactions on. Right, so we have the services, the about us, the portfolio, and originally this is what it will look like it's just going to be a list of your main navigation items like this. But I also want some of these items to have like a sub items, like on the services we want to be able to have like different services on the portfolios and stuff like that. So you can go ahead to make these sub items individual text, but I just decided to use a single one like this just for this video. What I also want is like an arrow, like an indicator that this is a drop down, so that when someone clicks on like the services item, for example, the items under the services gets visible, that is the UI UX, the product design and stuff like that. So once I have that, I'm just going to resize this icon a little bit, and I'm going to select it and select the main service text, and I'm going to hit Shift A to create an auto layout on it. Right, so I'm going to give it a specific padding around it, just so that there's a little spacing around this particular elements. So I want the user to be able to click on this section, be it the service item itself or the drop down, so that they can get the list of drop down. I'm going to make this fixed size and I'm going to give it a particular width. If I can just get the figures right, this is way too much. I'm going to take it down to like, nope, 360. Damn. I think this is just okay for now. I don't know if I'm going to be making changes later, but I think this is okay. I'm going to change it to space between so that the items in the auto layout get spaced out evenly. I'm just going to position the drop down list items just under this. I'm going to select both and hit Shift A to create an auto layout on the items. And I notice there is a space on the service text itself, and I want to fix this. So I'm just going to select this particular service and I'm going to change the right and left padding to be 0. I think this is fine. So basically this is what we want to have for the services. I'm just going to properly arrange the other menu items just below it. So I want to have the same thing we did for the services for the portfolio, since the portfolio is also a drop down. So I'm going to duplicate the services section and I'm going to copy the text and replace the portfolio text with the service text. I'm also going to select its sub items and the portfolio and hit Shift A to create an auto layout, and give it a specific spacing between them, which is the title and the drop down menu. I'm just going to give it like a spacing of 10, I guess, and that's fine. I'm going to edit the portfolio on portfolio spacing back to 10. And for the submenu items, as you can see, after selecting them, I'm changing the line spacing or the line height, but you might want to make them individual text so that it's clickable if you have a different page you're transitioning to. Now I'm going to select every navbar items, and I'm going to click Shift A on the keyboard to align them, and I'm going to align them properly to the left so that we have an even spacing on every single one of these navigation items. So this is basically what it's going to look like. All right, what I want to do next is to make sure every item has the same structure, but first I'm just going to reduce the length of this to 300 so it's not too far apart from each other. Then I'm going to select other main navigation items like the About Us, and I'm going to make it like an auto layout by hitting Shift A, just so that it has enough padding around it. I'm going to change its sizing to fixed, and I'm going to stretch it out to 300 so that it takes the entire width, just like the way the services and portfolio navigation item does. I'm going to do the same thing for the Contact Us. I'm going to make it fixed width, make it an auto layout, fixed width, and 300. I'm then going to position this just perfectly in the middle so it sits in the center of the page. And once we have this, we can now start making our interactive components for this section. But before that, I want to create a divider on each of these nav items. So I want to give it a stroke, but I want it to be an individual stroke, which is the bottom stroke, so that we know where every section ends, right? So I'm going to go through the next nav item, which is the About Us. I'm going to select the About Us section, click on stroke, and I'm going to select a particular stroke, which is the bottom stroke. I'm going to do the same thing for the portfolio. I'm going to click on the entire auto layout frame, go to strokes and give it a bottom stroke. I'm going to do the same thing for the Contact Us, and you know what, I don't think we need bottom stroke for the Contact Us since it's the last element on the list. So once we have this, I think I'm just going to reduce the solid black of the stroke a little bit. But before that, I'm going to add a little bottom padding to this because the stroke is a little too close to the sub menu items. And I'm just finding it difficult to give it the perfect spacing. I'm just going to use a spacing of 10. So I'm using the individual padding section, and I'm using just the bottom padding. After this, the next thing I want to do is to select every single item with a stroke, and I want to just tone down the thickness or the weight of the stroke a little bit. I'm going to give it a lighter shade of black, and I'm going to reduce the thickness of the stroke. I think this is fine, and we are just going to be using it like this. So basically we have all we need to start creating our components. I'm just going to adjust some of the spacings here a little bit. I noticed in the About navigation, About Us and Contact Us, the text itself is a little bit ahead of others. So I'm just going to go to the padding section and make some adjustments to the spacing. I'm going to change the left and right padding to 0, and I think that's it. If I can just get these spacings right, you don't have to worry so much about this. Sometimes I can be really picky about spacings, and I tend to keep searching for what's perfect. But I think this is fine. So basically what we want to do from here is to start creating our components, right? So I'm just going to create a duplicate of this. I'm going to make it a component, and I'm going to add another variant to this particular component. So on our default state, I want to hide this submenu item. So I'm going to click on this minus sign here, and I'm going to hold the bottom of this frame, hold down Command or Control, then I'm going to click and drag up. Then I'm going to check this clip contents to hide other contents that overflow. So basically I want to reduce the size of this frame to just this. And I'm just going to make this look exactly like the first one. I'm going to do the same thing for this portfolio section because this is the default state and none of these sections should be opened by default. I'm going to click on this minus sign here, come to the bottom of this entire frame, hold down command or control, reduce the frame till I get to this position where it seems okay, and check this clip contents right here. So we have this, and this is what our default state is going to look like. Oh, I forgot to remove the left and right padding from this contact us, so that everything is properly left aligned. Now we want to create the second state. When someone clicks on this service, we want to come to the second variant, which is going to have this open states for the services, but then it's only the services that the states will be opened. And on open states, we want to flip this indicator the opposite direction. Since we are only opening the state for the service, I want to close down this particular portfolio section. So I'm going to click on this minus sign on the auto layouts to remove it from the frame. Come to the bottom, hold down command or control, then click and drag to reduce the frame and clip its contents so that we can't see the contents that's outside that particular frame. So we have the drop down for the services. I'm going to create another variant. This is going to be the drop down for the portfolio, right? So just like what I did initially, I'm just going to expand this frame to show its sub items, and I'm just quickly going to expand the entire component so that we have enough space to expand the portfolio frame. So I'm just going to expand it out just enough, with a little spacing below it, just to give it that balance. Once you are done opening up the frame for the portfolio, we want to go back and close the frame for the service, because once the portfolio is open, we want to like hide the service items. So I'm just going to hold down command, click on the bottom and drag it in, then click on this clip contents to hide other content. So just like this, we have the open states for the portfolio and the open states for the services. Now we can start our prototyping. Now if you click on this service item, right, while on the open state for the portfolio, you also want to go back to this particular state here. So basically on the portfolio state, we can go to prototype section, then prototype it from that to the last variant we created here, which is the open state of the portfolio. We should also prototype the closed states for the services, and we shouldn't forget to flip this back on its closed states. Then on the portfolio, once this is opened, we want to flip this indicator the other way around to show that it's opened. So on this second variant, we want to prototype the portfolio down to the open states of the portfolio section, which is this here. And on clicking the open state, we want to prototype it back to the closed state, which is supposed to be the first variant, which is the default variant. Now on this, the open state here, we also want to close it up to the first state. I want to make sure all of these prototypes are on smart animation, right? So I'm just going to go through all the prototypes that we just did and set them to smart animate. So here on this place, once we click on this service, we want to open up the service state, which is the second variant. I think I forgot that particular interaction, and it's on smart animate. That's fine. So on this, the portfolio here, so basically you want to just make sure all the interactions are properly going to the right variants where you want it to go to. You might want to cross-check this over and over again to be sure that you've completely prototyped all the possible interactions for your component. And now we can start preparing to bring in the component. But first, I'm going to ungroup this section here so that I can pick the individual items. I'm going to first select this brand identity, which is the logo. I'm also going to copy the hamburger and I'm going to paste it where we just want it. But here I'm going to copy our component and I'm going to just right click and paste to replace with what we have here currently. So we're going to have the default state of our component here. So on click interaction to the second here, we want to edit the state of this hamburger menu. So this is just 2 strokes in a frame. I'm going to select the first one, change the angle to 45 degrees, select the second one, change the angle to minus 45 degree. I'm then going to select both strokes and I'm going to align vertical center so that it can properly give this close feel here. So I'm going to transition from this hamburger menu to the second page, which is going to open up this menu item. I'm going to leave it as smart animate, not dissolve, please. Smart animate, so that we can have that smooth animation effects on the hamburger menu where the strokes reforms to this close here. So once we've done that interaction, design should be coming out okay. So once you click on the hamburger menu on the top right corner here, we should have this smooth transition effects on the hamburger menu, and I want to use the iPhone frame just so that the preview can be looking a lot nicer. I'm just going to fix this logo real quick, but you can see that the hamburger menu works perfectly and our drop down menus is also working nice. Pardon me, I'm just going to quickly fix the issue with this logo so that the prototypes look cool. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to select and I'm going to play this again. So this is what it looks like, guys. This is the final design. Once you click on the hamburger menu, you get this smooth transition for your strokes, and you can also open up the services, close it up, open up the portfolio, close it up. And if you have more than one, you can do for more than one or more than 2, 3, as many as you want. You can also make this page like transition from left to right and play around with so many stuffs. So I also noticed there is a particular transition that is not smart animating. I think it's on instant, so I'm just going to switch it to smart animate real quick. So you want to check out your prototype properly to make sure everything is working smoothly, and everything works perfectly fine. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you were able to learn something, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please, once again, don't forget to like, turn on the notification bell, subscribe so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. Bye, and I'm going to see you in my next video.